Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to make a plant. The first thing that I did was I just went to a magazine and I printed off some greens that make sense to me as far as the plant is concerned. So let's start. I want the plant to have a front and a back to it. So I'm going to go ahead and apply some glue. Now, if I apply too much glue, the paper wrinkles, which in this case may not be a bad thing. However, I want to have control, right? So I went ahead and got some hot water. It's probably cold by now, but I got some hot water and I added it into the glue. This is watering down the glue, making it thin so that it applies nicely. But I need to make sure that it's not too watery, because if it's too watery, it wrinkles the paper. So I'm going to go over this piece of paper several times until I can feel the viscosity and the resistance. Okay. The paper itself that I'm using is like absorbing some of the moisture, right? Okay. Now I hope I didn't get it too watery. Eee, that looks really watery. I hope it's not too much. Like I said, for this particular assignment, maybe it's okay. But paper shouldn't get wrinkled, right? Everything should be made as pretty as possible, right? So if let's say I'm trying to apply like wallpaper, right? I don't want the wallpaper to all look crinkly, right? Okay. Okay, I feel like that did a good job. Cutting through wet paper is difficult. It has a lot of resistance. So if I have the time and the energy, what I would do at this time is I would just put it to the side. And I think that's an excellent idea, because there's different parts to to plants. Not only do you have to have the plant, you also have to have something the plant goes into, correct? So I'm looking for a terracotta color. What is terracotta? What? It's an orangish brownish ceramic, right? Most of the time when you go to like Home Depot and you get like the classic looking plant or pot, that's that terracotta color, right? Well, anything that's like, that's a nice color right there. I could probably work with that. It's a little small, but we are working small anyway, right? It's fine. Okay, let's use this. So, again, instead of like relying on other people's paper, other people's prints, it's easier if you just print something off yourself, because you can control the color, the hue, the intensity, right? All those things that matter. All those things that we didn't cover yet. Do you guys know what I just said? Color, hue, intensity? No? I have a video for that, don't worry. There's an app for that. Okay, so I have a little piece of paper here. And I'm going to use a pen or pencil. This is too big. Is there a pencil back there? Here's an exact or a mechanical pencil, and it's perfect. Look at that. It overlaps just ever so slightly, right? Make sure you close the glue when you're done. I forgot to do it earlier. If you leave that for like half an hour or something, it could cause problems. So I just applied a little bit of glue on the inside edge of one side only. The more glue you put on, the longer it takes for it to dry up. The longer it takes for it to dry up, the more likely you'll have a problem. Okay? So I'm gonna. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, she's being weird.
Uh-huh.
But
Oh. And who is that that's being weird?
Kayla.
Okay.
This video recording a bit.
Okay, now I made a pot that's very like up and down, right? Very vertical. If you guys want to have more of an arch, these arches right here work, right? And if you put that arch in the bottom and the top, then it will go across with a flare. Does that make sense? Instead of just going straight across where it's 90 degrees straight up. Okay, so that's something you could do that's interesting. I let a few minutes dry, stand, pass, right? Well, this is probably good enough. It's still going to give me resistance because it does have moisture in it. I do have a heat gun if you want to speed it up. You can put it in the window, have some sun hit it. That will also speed it up. This particular material, this is a very high gloss paper. This high gloss paper doesn't absorb water very well, so that slowed down the process of drying. If you use the regular paper, the paper has a lot of porosity, so it will dry up faster, but the problem is that it also doesn't have an intensity as far as color is concerned, right? Does that make sense? So I'm going to go ahead and cut off the blue part because I don't need the blue part. Oh, that cut a lot nicer than I thought it would. And now I'm going to go ahead and start making little, I'm going to make a, I don't know, is that like a Pfister looking plant? Just with like lots of leaves that kind of just go out. Does that make sense? So I'm going to make lots of these. What would you call that shape?
What shape? A line. A stripe?
I don't know. One thing that I wanted to do, but I didn't have any, is I have some floristry wire, but I just don't know where it is right now. I could have put the floristry wire inside the paper before I fold it in half, and then that way you'll get a high rigid point in the middle, and you can bend them any way you want, which gives you a lot of flexibility. I didn't do that just because I couldn't find it right this second, but that would be a way to increase your ability to design, right? You can manipulate the leaves whichever way you want. I'm making them different lengths at this point also. Some of them longer, some of them shorter, some of them fatter, some of them skinnier. Give it variety. I hope I like that. I'm noticing that the edges of the cut are white. I don't know that that bothers me because it's so small, but depending on what you're doing, if that does bother you, an easy solution is just to get a marker and go over the edges with a marker. I'm getting you guys a Stucher kit for every single student, so that you'll have lots of tweezers and locking scissors, or locking pliers, whatever those are called. The little scissor-looking things that you use for fishing, right? That have the like little teeth on the end. What? Yeah. So anyway, I have those things, which will be perfect for you guys to hold while you're trying to clean up edges and stuff. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right now. Nine. I like to go with odd numbers instead of even numbers. I think that at this point I don't know that it matters that much because there's so many, but and maybe some of them won't look as good as I thought they would. I'm not sure. Okay. Okay, so now I need to attach them somehow, right? I think I'm gonna go ahead and get a little piece of tape. I'm going to tape the tape to the table so that the sticky side is up. Does that make sense? So now right here, this is sticky, and that's just holding it in place temporarily. I can go ahead and pick these up and put them down. I think I want them fairly vertical, but depending on what you're wanting, that could go different directions, right? Okay. I'm going to take the blade and kind of scrape it across, and that made it kind of bend a little bit, just like when you're doing wrapping, right? I didn't like how that worked. It just looks a little whiter. Let me try the same practice on my finger instead. Oh, I like that much better. That's much more organic looking to me. Okay, get these really close to each other. I'm gonna try to put different length things next to each other. But if you're looking for more of a floral look, you can have the small things going to large, and what that will do is it will look like it's blooming, right? You'll have the small things in the middle, and then like the bigger things are on the outside, right? So that's also a good choice. Let me try to do this one. That one didn't come out as nice as I thought it would. That's okay. Quantity makes up for quality. If you have a lot of things that look 80% good, then it's not as bad. If you have one piece that looks like, you know, even 80% or 90% good, that's not good enough, right?
It's not.
Why do we let Sophie talk?
I'd never been able to control her. That's true, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it really? Okay, see you guys later. Hey guys, it's still recording, so stay quiet. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr. T.
I'll figure it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut across right here. That's hot. Okay, now I'm going to take this and I'm going to fold this part up so that it holds it well. Now that will keep it from falling out. And the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to wind it around. Oh, I want to go the opposite direction. I'm going to throw that inside my pot. Okay. I can tease a little bit right here to manipulate it better. But here is my finished product. I think it needs a little flour. Let's work on that next.